You tell me to talk.
Mickey, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about you.
Okay.
And we're live! Welcome, everyone, to our... it's already been kind of a shit show, everyone.
The Wine Live. Yep.
Please bear with us and the delay on my thing here, because, yeah. Anyways, I need a drink.
If you are watching the replay or just joining us now, let us know if you are drinking red or white wine or the drink of your choice. Drop us a comment. This is episode 4 of Paulette Becs Wine Lives, and we have a very special guest tonight, our great friend Mickey, and she is here to talk with us about why do we always feel guilty saying no, right? It is such a big thing that so many of us feel this guilt of saying no. So we'll get into the details of that in just a little bit and sort of jump our conversation around. But if Miss Mickey would just tell us a little bit about herself, who she is, and where you're from and everything.
Okay, so I am 40 years old. I am a mother of 2 very busy boys. I babysit during the day, which keeps me on my toes. And I am also an affiliate marketer in my spare time. And yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm like
too, Missy, that you are going to be full-time online soon.
You betcha. June 29th.
Woo-hoo! Let's cheers. Congratulations.
Okay, I'll cheers with my water.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
No shame in that game.
Absolutely. So I know that talking about this whole feeling guilty of saying no, do you have any sort of experience on or an example of this kind of coming up? I know a lot of us, we always have people asking us to do things and our lives get so busy, especially with children. Like we've all got kids. You've got 2 little boys that are super busy. And a lot of times people ask us to do stuff and we just keep taking things on and not actually, we get overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. Do you find that?
Yeah.
Like, do you have an example maybe of...
Well, I'm not going to lie. Today it was a little bit overwhelming because I knew all day I had the call. And then I knew I had baseball. I had the daycare kids. And I was like, how am I going to fit all this in? And then that's when you messaged me and you were like, listen, we'll just push the call back a bit for you. Like, don't worry, it's not a big panic. But inside, I didn't want to say no because I was asked to be on another call last week and I had to say no. And then I had guilt. And then I instantly had guilt when I said yes to your call and not to that call. And it was, I think guilt is something that we carry, but I am getting way better at saying no. The thing is I just really didn't want to say no this time. If it works for my time, I want to be able to do it, right? Like, if you would have said the call's at 7, can you do it? I would have said no. Like, I just can't. Right. And I'm getting better at doing that and learning that I can't be everything all the time. And it's okay not to be.
Yeah. And just like 100% what you just said, acknowledging that like we can't do everything. And that's okay. And it's on someone else if they're upset or frustrated, and rather than honoring the fact that you said no because maybe your best effort won't be there.
That's right. That's so true.
Yeah, like, and just knowing like there's so many things of just life is busy. And when people expect so much of each and every person, it's like, how can we do this? Right? So we need to be able to just step back and say, maybe you need to find someone else to do it this time. And it's
there's only so many hours in a day.
Exactly.
Like we're only one people.
Yeah.
Managing how many people, like, and I think it's so important to say no, because you're not saying no to that person. You're saying no for yourself. Exactly what you said. Like, if you're not going to be able to give your full attention to what you've said yes to, just don't do it, because you're either going to be not at all into it, not in the mood, or you're going to feel frustrated. You're not going to be in the right mind frame. And we all know how important our mindset is, right? Like, the last thing you want to do is go into something already feeling frustrated and overwhelmed. So that's when you just say, not going to work.
Totally. Yeah.
Like I was telling Bex this yesterday. A lot of times I feel like, especially us moms, we sometimes just say yes because we like to help, right? That's just our instinct, is that we're givers. So if somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, I could really use a hand with this," like even like for volunteering and stuff like that, you really want to help, right? But at the same time, you might have had like a day like yours today, Mickey, where you were just running off your feet, and and then that's just another thing added to your plate. So then you end up like taking from your cup to fill up someone else's cup, and that's not helpful either, right? Like you were saying.
Yeah.
There has to be a balance somehow, right?
Absolutely. And knowing that we're not being selfish at all by saying no. It's not a selfish thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't pour from a half full cup.
That's right. You really do have to decide that, are you going to be able to put your best foot forward? Are you going to be able to actually be in the moment? You know, I'm not sitting here right now thinking, are my kids asleep? Are my kids asleep? Are they crying in their room? No, because you allowed me the time to take care of what I needed to take care of first. And you don't always get that time, right? In life, not everyone is patient. Not everyone is going to wait for you. And if you say yes to a situation where it's going to put the whole situation in stress, it just isn't worth it, right? For anyone involved.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I mean,
Bex,
also,
you had brought up. Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say also the reactions where other people aren't as patient, or it's like very much like it's time crunch, and then people get frustrated. That reaction's on them. It's got nothing to do with what you did.
Yeah.
Or what we each did, as whatever the circumstance is, right? That's on them. It's not on us. So that's a really neat thing to start processing in your own mind of, why did maybe that person react that way? Right? Because it's not our fault. It's not on us as to why that reaction came about. We were just being honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a neat way of kind of looking at it.
Yeah, Bex, you had brought up earlier today that you were talking to your brother about doing this live, and you had a realization. What was that realization?
Oh my gosh, it was so funny for me. We were in the truck, and I was like, you know what? Him and I went downtown together. I was doing my garden bed and everything, buying plants, and we had so much fun shopping. And we're driving home, and I was like, I really got to think of like an example of when I should have said no, and like when it like was kind of a overwhelming experience. And he looks at me and he laughs, and I was like, why are you laughing? Like, what? He goes, you have no problem saying no. You say no all the time, and you tell people they know when you mean no. And I was like, oh shit. Like,
but that's good.
That is so good.
But the other side of that is I always feel guilty, and I often maybe use no a little bit too much, in the aspect of maybe I could do it, but I'm going to say no because I don't think I'm going to do as good of a job as what that person would want.
Okay.
Right? It's sort of flipped the other way a little bit. And I was kind of sitting in the truck, and I started to laugh. I was like, you're so right. Like, I need to be a little bit more of a yes person as opposed to a no person, because every time I say no, I do feel the guilt still that maybe I could have done a great job, but I never was saying yes.
Yeah, you're not allowing yourself to do the job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're doing a disservice to yourself, Rebecca.
Yeah, right. I'm going to say yes more often. But it was funny. It
Okay,
was
so
a cool conversation.
that's awesome. So we've come up with 5 tips for you all, if you're interested in hearing about it. 5 tips to helping you not feel guilty. How to say no without feeling guilty. Okay. So I'm going to do the first one, Rebecca, if that's cool.
Yeah, you go right
The
ahead.
first.
I'm actually just, yeah, you go for it. You read through them.
Okay. So the first one is acknowledge that you can't do everything. The world will not fall apart if you can't do whatever it is. Like make cookies for the bake sale. No one's going to die. You're going to be okay. So get yourself off the hook a little bit. Number 2 is tell yourself you're not being selfish, just like Nikki and Rebecca were saying. We often say yes out of guilt, and that's not fair to anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, know that you can't please everyone. You can please the people you really care about for some of the time, but it's not possible to please every person every time and maintain your sanity.
Mm-hmm.
So that one hits home for me a lot. Because like I was saying earlier, I'm a giver. So if anybody asks me to do anything, my automatic reaction, I don't even think about it. I'm like, yeah, how can I help you? Like, because it's just in me to give, right? But then afterwards, a lot of the time, I'm like, oh, because maybe it just fell on a bad day where I have a whole bunch of stuff going on. And then I'm just, I like I said earlier, I'm filling up someone else's cup with what I should be filling my cup up with, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any suggestions there, ladies? Or do you agree?
Oh,
I agree.
yeah, for sure. For sure. And
Yeah.
it is like you're so right. Like you totally nailed it when you said we do it because we're moms.
Mm-hmm.
So we say yes to everything. Like prime example is, I mean, yeah, it was saying yes to my kid, but baseball runs past bedtime by 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
I said yes because even though it totally doesn't work for our schedule or our life in the current moment, he wants it so bad. And I know he's going to be tired, and I know there's going to be a late bedtime, and there's going to be a consequence, and we'll fight for school tomorrow. And, you often think, is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
But then seeing the smile on his face when he's playing, or, how excited he is on the morning that he gets to play baseball, it's like, yeah, it's worth it. It is worth it. And sometimes putting yourself in that moment of like, should I be saying yes? Like I really had to weigh out the pros and cons on this. Yes. And, it was more for, is my sanity going to be able to hold on to this? Yes. Can I follow through with this? Yes. And you're right. Like it's not always perfect, but sometimes we need to step out of that comfort zone and say yes to something that we normally wouldn't. And we do always have guilt when we say no, but there is a lot of positives to saying yes, right?
Totally. That just brought me back like 100% to yesterday with my brother. Like we have nap times right in the middle of the day. Like it's usually around 12:31. It's just like lunchtime. He's been skipping his naps once in a while, and it makes bedtime a little bit rough around here. But it was more like, okay, we want to go do this, but how are we going to make this work? Because he naps 2 to 3 hours when he does nap. Like it's a long stint of like a nap. Like so we ended up actually leaving the house at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we drove to Fairmont. We went to the Funtasia with the animals, and I totally 100% expected him to fall asleep in the car on the way there because he was up early. Did not sleep. Went to Funtasia, got to see the ponies, the goats, all the animals. He ran around, he chased ducks, there was birds, like it was everything. And
It's
then
such a great place.
it was amazing. I can't believe how many times we've driven past it
Oh, I know. Us too.
and never have gone. Like it's great for adults too. The mini golf looks amazing. And
We'll
bumper
take Paulette when she comes.
yes, we will. And then we were like, okay, like let's go to we're gonna go to the hot springs. My brother's never been to Fairmont Hot Springs. And Caleb was just completely wiped out. But we went there and he cried in the change room, total trooper in the pool, loved it, swimming, didn't want to leave, screamed the whole way out. Like leaving the pool, I had him in the change room, all the way to the car, screamed. But I was like, the smile was worth it.
Yeah.
But it was like testing your own sanity of like skipping a nap. We had the repercussions of that until 9:30 last night when he finally went to sleep because he couldn't fall asleep. He fell asleep for like 20 minutes on the drive home, but so it was just a matter of like I knew this was going to happen, but we ended up having an amazing day and it was totally worth it. And he slept till 9 this morning, so it was like trade-off.
Bonus.
But it's totally about weighing what's going to keep you sane and what's not, and how often you say yes to those things.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Because that's not something you're going to say yes to all the time.
No.
But imagine if you said no.
We would have just stayed at home again for another day and not got to experience everything. So amazing.
Yeah.
This was incredible.
Exactly.
We have a comment here, ladies. Jackie sent us a comment. And she said, sometimes people often aren't as upset as you think they will be. Sometimes people often aren't as upset as you think they will be either when you say no. Often, we make assumptions of how it will turn out.
Yes.
Which is so true.
Assumptions are
true, right?
Assumptions are huge.
Yeah.
That's a whole
create a story in Yes. Avoid caring what people think. That's a huge one. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. That's so true. Who else is on here? We've got Jackie, 2 Jackies. Hello, Krista. Hello, Christy. And if you're on here, you guys drop us a comment, throw us a like, let us know you're here. We've got Amanda, Cheryl. Yeah, let us know and let us know your thoughts on this, you guys, of sort of any examples you have or ideas of and solutions of not feeling guilty when you have to say no to somebody.
Krista's like the mother that never says no. Or she's the friend, mother, wife, employee. She is like always doing for everyone else. I'm telling you this. Yeah. That is her personality. I love her for it. But you know what she does to put herself first is she wakes up and like the crack of dawn and she goes to the gym and that's her time. And it mentally gives her that space to feel like she can say yes.
Oh man, that is like the best routine to get into. I did it for 2 months and I took a day off, which turned into 3 months off. And
oh yeah, I hear you, girl.
But it was honestly I had so much energy. I felt amazing, but it's literally trying to find that way to get back into that routine. Like it was the mornings of just working out. That's probably why she can say yes all the time. I mean, I can't speak for her, but like having that energy from a workout in the morning is incredible.
Yeah.
It's all about finding
your balance. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to number 4.
Oh yes.
Of our tips of how to say no without feeling guilty. Number 4 is think of all the things you're saying yes to when you say no. So no doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. You could look at it as saying yes to the things that will benefit your life. So I really like this one. It could be yes to more quality time with friends and family. Excuse me. Yes to maintaining your sanity. and having me time. Like you were just talking about Krista, right? Her going to the gym in the morning, that's her me time, which gives her sanity to be able to deal with the rest of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes to living a more relaxed, even-paced life that is centered around the things that have meaning for you and not for someone else, right? So it all comes back to filling your own cup at some point and worrying about you instead of so much worrying about everybody else, right?
Yeah.
100%. And I mean,
feel
it's
like
not to
today's
say
word
to
should
cut
be
everyone else out. It's not to say like cut these people's feelings out and cut those things out, but you can't give back without 100% giving to yourself first.
Yes, totally.
Mhm.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Let's take a cheer break to that, my friends.
Oh, I've been sipping away.
Oh, cheers, my water.
H2O.
Mm-hmm.
We've got another comment here from Cheryl. It says, I've had to turn off the guilt switch to ensure I get my self-care and love time. I even have to say no to my mom. But by owning my needs, people respect my needs more too. So true.
So true.
So true.
Yes,
I know I completely respect when someone says no to me out of like, I literally cannot give you 100% on this. And I'm like, absolutely, that is cool. Like, you take your time then. Yeah,
yes.
it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christy, morning workouts are the best. Yeah. And Krista, still working on my balance. It all takes time and it's all work. Everything takes work. Like, we can talk about
yeah.
and say these things like it seems like it's the way we talk about it, maybe it comes across as an easy thing. This is not an easy thing, and this takes work every single day to be able to not feel guilty, or if like those emotions pop up, just kind of be like, okay, why am I feeling guilty? What about this situation is creating this emotion inside of me? And then just honor that emotion for a minute and then just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Work on just letting it go, but honor them. Don't think that those emotions are never going to come up, because they're always going to be there. It's going to come, they pop up, but knowing how to kind of turn them off and just acknowledge them and figure out why you're feeling that way that's a great thing to learn, really.
Yeah.
That was so wise of you, my friend. Cheers to that.
Running low.
I'm so delayed, you guys. This is so funny.
you're
I'm watching myself on the screen be like,
I know.
I know, it's crazy. I need a new
I
computer,
feel like
guys.
I'm cutting you off every 2 seconds.
It's like an old Japanese movie, you know? And oh, jeez. This is why we are perfectly imperfect, my friends. Okay, number 5. Understand why you have a hard time saying no. Hey, like you just said, Rebecca. Oh my God.
Here you go.
Find the reason why. Honor that. Be okay with your decision in saying whatever you need to say.
Yeah.
We have another comment here. I see Patty Brown. Hey, Patty Brown. Hang on. She says, my life feels super unbalanced. All work, running late, housework and laundry. I'm also working on the balance. I often say no to friends for outings because I just have no more energy to give. And you know what? That's okay. That's perfect. Because, like we keep saying, you don't have to do everything. Like, yes, as moms, we're super moms. We really are. We have the ability to do like 17 things at once, and that's great. But if it doesn't sit right in here, then you don't make yourself feel guilty for having to do it, because you don't have to do it. And you know what? You know that old saying that they say, the people that mind, or no, how does that go again?
The people that matter don't mind, and the people that mind don't matter.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Thanks, Bex.
I was like trying to think of it in my head.
I got you.
I know this one.
I know, I always say backwards. It's okay, Patty. You got this, buddy.
Yeah.
You're a monster.
And it's a totally normal feeling, and you're not alone in that. Like, a lot of times, I know I work with lots of girls that we do 12-hour shifts, and some of them find the energy to go after work to the gym. Once in a while, sometimes I feel up to it, or to just go out for a drink or go for breakfast after a night shift or something. And sometimes it's just like, absolutely not. I do not have the energy for that. And other times it's like, yes, let's do it. I can make this work this time. But it's always a trade-off. Just honor how you're feeling.
100%.
Yeah.
It's so true. I mean, the other night I had a last minute invite to the movies, and I was so tired. It was just a busy week, and it was a busy day, and I felt like I was go, 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 go all day. And, you know, a big part of me wanted to go, but I knew I didn't want to go. And as much as I didn't want to say no, I really didn't want to say yes either. So I was like, you know what? Not tonight. I'm just, I'm going to stay at home in my pajamas, relax. And I think that saying no can come with age too. Like you can learn that it's okay. It's okay to say no, and those people will still call you again, and you'll still be invited another time. And, you really do have to take care of yourself first. And it is the most important.
Totally.
Yep.
Totally. Cheers to that.
Even
That
if you
is
just explain.
honoring yourself.
Yes, let's
And your
Mhm.
even if you just tell people the reason, it doesn't have to be like, I know, like, I was really bad for this a long time ago. I would always like over explain myself and apologize profusely.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry, but I have to do this and this and this and this because this happened to this guy, and then my cousin's uncle's friend was upset with me because of this, and nobody gives that much of a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was speaking from guilt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Trying to create the
throw that guy.
excuses to cover up.
It
Yeah.
all comes
Yeah,
back to the whole
exactly.
thing about the people that mind don't matter. No, how does it go? Fuck.
The
Damn it! Every time.
Bex, tell us.
The people that
You know what I'm
mind.
talking
Wait, now see, I'm lost. The people that matter don't
about. I
mind.
know, right?
And the people that mind
People-
don't matter.
That's
Someone
right.
should write that in the comments.
I know. I was like, we need to write that down.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna put that on my mirror tonight.
Right? Okay,
No,
well,
that's
I
funny.
think that about sums up our little live here.
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
wanted to
so.
kind of and let you know that you're not alone, and that and give you some solutions to not feeling guilty. So I hope that helped. If it didn't, well, just drink wine instead.
But it
That
helps.
helps.
Maybe not in the morning though. When the morning comes around.
Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's right. So true.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mickey, for popping on with us and
Yeah,
chat.
thanks for the invite.
Thanks,
And
girl.
I think we're back next week. Is that right, Miss Paulette?
Yes, we are. What day? I couldn't tell you. Actually, I probably can. June
I think
5th, whatever day that is.
It is. It's June 5th. We have not set a time, I do not believe. Have we?
No,
We will be back
don't.
on June 5th. Just watch for our little announcement. Not really sure what kind of ideas and value we will be dropping then, but we will be back on the 5th, probably sometime in the afternoon, I'm thinking, because I head on a trip the next day. So,
Awesome.
yeah, we will chat.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on.
Thanks, ladies.
All right. Cheers.
Okay, take care, guys.
It's the waiting
Wait
game
for
now.
it. Wait for it. And I think we're off.